Hey everybody, it's Haley Hobson, and I'm super excited today to present to you my Mom-trepreneur webinar and some of my inside secrets to having it all. I feel like over the last couple of years, I've had to really rearrange my life and actually come up with a whole new business model so that I could be a mom and run my own business at the same time. In my prior career, 15 years ago, I was actually an attorney, and I was even thinking back then about how difficult it was going to be to have a job like that, to have a career like that, work in an office all day and never be able to see my kids, let alone even just do my own laundry or pick up stuff from the dry cleaner, as I was wearing suits back then. So I changed my business model at that point to become a Pilates and a yoga teacher. But the ironic thing about that was that I was working by the hour. And when I got pregnant, I realized that in order to sustain the income that me and my family needed, working as many hours as I did, it again was not going to work with some children in the house because they were going to have specific needs at different times. So again, I had to rethink my business model. And even though I have a lot more flexibility now in my time schedule, and I have a lot more financial and time freedom, it's still tricky working around kids. No matter what, it's tricky working around kids. I mean, it's like, even as I sit here and record this video right now, I had to negotiate, an hour of private time so there'd be no kids screaming, no kids walking around, and no interruptions in my house. And it's, I think, a common problem for women in general to feel like they want to do something outside of the home, even if it's not a full-time job, but they also want to feel like they're contributing, but they also want to feel like they're home and present, whatever that means to different people, for their families. So I want to talk to you guys today about, what a momtrepreneur really is and what we can do, some secrets that I have that will help us feel really passionate about what we're doing and also make us feel like we're more present at home for our partners and for our kids. So being a momtrepreneur is all about being a kick-ass mom to your kids and partner and whoever else is in your life. It's really about being an entrepreneur, being your own boss, working hopefully from home and following your passion. And it's also about having a flexible schedule and working hours that you can still manage your family life. So like what that means to me is sometimes I'll get up. My schedule kind of alternates. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is a little bit different than Tuesday, Thursday. So my husband and I can trade off on some stuff. But I will sometimes get up super early in the morning, like 6 o'clock before my kids get up, and get on my computer and do a little bit of work and run off to the gym and get my workout in. And then I have like a time period where I can get stuff done before my kids get home from school. And then my husband, who's been a saint and got the kids out and left the mess from breakfast and lunch packing, but at least he got them off to school, I can now go ahead and take over the afternoon activities with my kids, be present as a mom, and then do the whole bath and bedtime schedule. So we haven't really worked out in our home, and I actually feel bad for him when I travel because he's got to do everything by himself. But if you can figure out how to be your own boss and at the same time being your own boss, of course, with a business that you love and is your passion, and create a schedule that's flexible for you where you have support, you will be able to manage your family life as well. So what you're going to learn in this webinar is, well, first of all, you're going to learn about how to earn your own income and contribute to your household income, which I think is very important these days. I think that we as women all want to feel like we have a part in creating what is going on in our households, especially for those of you out there who are single moms. You're also going to learn a little insider tips and secrets that will keep you sane and productive. And you're going to learn how to be a successful momtrepreneur. So I have for you a little video here that will probably make you laugh. And I'm just going to exit out of this PowerPoint for just a little second so I can play this video for you. And then we will get back to the rest of my tips. I just love having a business where I can stay home and have all the flexibility in the world. And bonus, I get to have my kids with me all the time. What?
I love this job. The best job in the world. Next to being a mom, of course. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty much the best job in the world.
Mommy, do you have a tattoo?
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, awesome. This one.
Yeah.
I love it that you can come and work with
me. Ready? You can with your nose.
It's kind of awesome because it has like the top 10 oils that people mostly use like more often than not. Lemon oil can totally take that off.
Okay, hold on for me 1 second. Okay, Madeline, just can you give me 1 second while I'm on the phone? Just 1 second, please. Love you. Okay, Madeline, 2 minutes, okay?
No.
My life is like always in total chaos. Even though there is so much going on, total chaos all the time, I always make sure that my little Madeline has a healthy diet. Oh, okay, here, just take this and all right, thank you. All right, I'm sorry about that.
My kids are pretty much being raised with goldfish and applesauce right now.
What is going on? What? Awesome!
Do I care if my kids get an oil in their eye? No. I'm preparing them for the world. If you can handle an oil in the eye, what could you not do? Seriously.
Get down. I'll get the coconut oil. Get down.
Can your kids handle that? I don't think so. Mine can.
It is so important for us to make sure that we have time for ourselves every day.
Welcome yourself to your practice today by closing your eyes and dropping into the sound of your breathing.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Stop. I'm sorry. They're so crazy today. Kind of makes you wish they had like an ether oil, you know, just like, woo. You know, just. You're right. That's not funny. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's look at your options here.
Okay, Madeline, I'm teaching my class right now. Okay, yeah. Okay, I know, but I'm teaching a class right now. Okay, okay. Is there an oil for this? Okay. So anyway, I think that is a true depiction of what my life is really like. In fact, my daughter didn't even have to act at all in that video. It's negotiating and balancing all the time how to be with your kids and still have the flexibility to work at home. And I wouldn't trade having her all over me and screaming in my ear and interrupting me during my meetings and on my calls at all for having to go to an office and having to work for somebody else. So it's definitely not all unicorns and rainbows, right? It's reality and we're all dealing with it. But if you do the right thing the right way now, what you'll learn is how you can spend more time with your kids and your partner, how to have a more flexible work schedule, how to really be flexible and kind of move with the flow, how to earn a fantastic income, be your own boss, be organized, be productive, and really be as best of a superstar mom as you can. So let's get started on some of those inside secrets. Secret number 1, find your true passion and your purpose. When you are aligned with your purpose, nothing is going to knock you off your course. Isn't that the truth? It's like for those of you who are in jobs right now that are not ideal, that you don't want to go to every day, of course you get knocked off of your course because you don't really want to even have to show up. But when you're aligned with your own purpose and you're doing something for you, you will be able to get there no matter what. You will be determined to succeed no matter what. You will feel on purpose and fulfilled, and you'll feel like you are making a difference in not only your life, but other people's lives as well. Secret number 2, you totally can't do this alone. You'll need a supporting partner or other help, other family members, other friends, neighbors, and possibly your family. Like for instance, I have a friend that's been spending a couple days with me right now, and she was mentioning how she's kind of been a single mom for the last 10 years because her husband's in the military and he would leave for like 9 months to a year at a time. And her kids, who are now 8 and 10, really had to learn how to step up and be partners with her in her household rather than just the children that she was serving all the time. And so you figure it out, you know, whether you're a single mom or whether you're working and you've got a partner or a spouse, you figure it out what's going to make it work best in your family, and everybody contributes. you'll need to align yourself with a company also that offers you great support. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. You can create your own company. You can align yourself with another company. But if you're doing something where you want to get out there and own your own business, you're going to have to figure out where you can be offered support. And you'll also need a team of people that supports each other as well. And with my business right now, I mean, in the beginning, I was definitely doing everything alone. And sure, my husband is supporting me. My kids get what I'm doing right now. And even my family members and friends do too. But I've also been able to create a team of people that's also supporting my vision and getting things done as well. Secret number 3, your attitude. Attitude starts with you and your thoughts. You need to know what you want. You need to do what you love. You need to focus. And you want to pitch up with a kick-ass attitude every single day. So I actually want you to take a moment right now, and I want you to think about your attitude. Think about how you feel when you get out of bed in the morning. I have a little joke that I do with my husband and my 5-year-old right now, because they both kind of wake up on the grumpy side in the morning, whereas I wake up usually pretty happy. Now I can get grumpy as my day goes on, but I never wake up grumpy. So what we do is we have a little funny joke right now where I find a grump in my daughter's pants, and I go down and I find that grump, and she laughs and she smiles and she giggles, and then I throw that grump away. So think about how you are waking up every single morning and what your attitude is like, and maybe write down what you want right now from your life. I know that's a big, huge general question, but is there something that, without even thinking, that you can write down that you want to create? What is it that you love and that you want to focus on? Secret number 4, believe. Nothing will stop you in your tracks quicker than your own lack of self-belief. I'm going to say that again because it's so important. Nothing will stop you in your tracks quicker than your own lack of self-belief. Believe me, I actually wake up certain days, and after looking at my back office and talking to my team of people, I think, oh my gosh, is this month really going to happen? There's a lot of negativity that can go through my mind, and there's a lot of self-doubt that I can create, but I always turn that attitude around immediately and believe that because I've done it before, it is going to happen again. And I write down my goals all the time. I use positive mantras and use them all day, every single day. I have my goals literally sitting right in front of me every single month, right on my computer, so that I can look at them and stare at them while I'm actually working all day long, and I see them. And for those of you who have heard from me before, you know that I am a firm believer that when you have an attitude, a positive attitude where you believe something is going to happen, the universe has a very, very tricky way, awesome way of co-conspiring with you. So make sure you're using those positive mantras and use them often all day long. Also acknowledge each little accomplishment as a success to increase your belief. You can have a to-do list that's miles and miles and miles long, and you feel like a failure if you're only knocking one thing off of it a day. Some days it feels like you can't even knock anything off. So what can you do to give yourself a little praise on the back, a little tap on the back, and acknowledge that even some days when there's not a huge success, there's some movement in the right direction that will increase your belief in yourself. Believe that you can achieve it, and you will. Secret number 5, guidelines. You have to set guidelines for yourself. No overworking. Now sitting watching the new Food Network during the day. Like, I have guidelines for myself where I make sure that I eat the right foods in the morning that start my days off correctly. I also have to admit that I'm addicted to certain TV shows. Like, I just found a new one that I love, which I didn't need to add a new one into my life, called Secrets and Lies. So I will go into my room at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock or 9:30 at night, and I will unwind and watch my trashy Scandal and Nashville shows, because that is going to let me wind down for the day. And I do my little bath routine with my 5-year-old before that. And sometimes when the weather's super cold, I'll jump in the tub with her to warm up before I go to sleep. So I have guidelines that I'm not going to take certain scheduled calls past a certain time of the day. I have guidelines that I'm going to try to not pick up my phone during meal times with my family. And I have guidelines that I'm going to give myself time to exercise in the morning and time to wind down during the evening. So what kind of guidelines are you setting for yourself? Set them right now if you don't have them at the start with your family, Also, because they need to know when mom is working. There are times where, I'll say that I want to do something in the middle of the day, and there's no way it can get done if I don't relay it to my family. In fact, I have to admit that I actually called my husband just now and said, hey, I'm about to start a webinar. Don't call me. Don't text me. I need 1 hour of uninterrupted time. So that's a guideline that I set to honor the 1 hour that I needed to commit to be here right now. Set your guidelines around the house, and even set your guidelines with your friends. Guidelines are super important, will help you stay disciplined, which is the next secret. You are going to have discipline in order to be a successful momtrepreneur. And that is the bottom line. Aligning yourself with your true passion will improve your level of discipline, but discipline is a habit. So get into that habit as soon as possible. Be disciplined in your point of focus. A laser-like focus will help you from getting distracted by your family, by your friends, and other day-to-day distractions. Now, how can you stay disciplined? I mean, for me, I have my schedule. I literally have every single thing I do on my schedule. I even have the times that I go for a run on my schedule, because I know that if I want to get that in, it has to be scheduled or it ain't happening. And then I have my Intune oils that I use all over my head in the morning and in the afternoon to keep me laser focused. And I have the conversations with my husband and with my kids so they know exactly what my purpose is that day or that week. Like if I know I have a lot of travel coming up, I have my husband sit down with me, drag his chair next to mine, and we look at the calendar and I go through all of my travel with him so he understands what we're going to have to do together, where he's going to have to be present, more present, where I can actually cut him some slack and be the full-time mom so he can get his stuff done. Like if he wants to do a 2-hour bike ride or he wants to go out and hang out with his friends. And then when I have my time, it's scheduled and I can be totally disciplined with no distractions and total ultimate focus. So if you're disciplined with yourself in staying on purpose, you will be your authentic self. Number 7, commitment. Make a commitment to yourself that you will stay the course. I have so many people that I actually come into contact with and even bring into my business that get distracted and give up 2 weeks in, a month in, 3 months in, 6 months in. Do you guys know that sometimes it takes 1 year to 5 years to create your business, to start up a business and have it be successful? Make a commitment to yourself that you will stay on course and that you will wait and be patient for that success. Make a commitment to yourself that you will keep moving forward no matter what, even if it's just small baby steps. Be committed to be helping as many people as possible and increasing your reach so you can stay on focus. Commitment is everything. If you lose commitment, you lose your purpose and you cannot become a successful entrepreneur. Number 8, this is a big one for people. Get organized. It's going to get a little crazy out there. Like you saw in the video, that is my real crazy life. I walk around the house all day long, picking up stuff, cleaning stuff, hiding stuff, because my house can get out crazy, totally crazy out there. Noise, distractions, mud on the floor, dishes piling up in the dish sink. You have to get organized so you can either work around that chaos or clean it up so that you can stay focused. Now, I have to admit, I'm a little anal retentive. You might already know that from following me online or knowing me in person. And for me, it helps me stay organized and helps me stay clear and present if my surroundings are clean and clear. That's why I have to be organized. If I'm disorganized, I can't think clearly. That's just part of my personality. If you're a person who can work around chaos, hands off to you, awesome. But if you need to get more organized and you feel like that's going to help you stay more focused, this is a good opportunity to get more organized. Being organized means more progress, less stress, and more inner peace. If you are not sure how to get organized, you can ask somebody or even get professional help. Being organized doesn't just apply to the outside, but it also internally comes from within too. Now, I actually practice yoga several days a week, and some people completely zone out when they're in the yoga class. And I definitely have days when my business is slower and my life isn't chaotic that I can also do that too. But sometimes I use that time during my yoga practice to focus in and zone in and get organized inside my brain. And so that class really helps me stay focused, get really clear, so that I can make more progress once I walk out of that class and feel more at inner peace. So whatever it takes for you to get more organized, now is the time to start making your lists, crossing stuff off if you need to, typing stuff off on the computer, get your house a little bit cleaned up, teach your kids how to chip in and do chores, ask your husband or spouse or family for support, get organized. Number 9, this is a big one too. This is one that I've had to really learn how to do since I've become a mom and also just becoming a wife. Flexibility. It's a big lesson to learn. You just are not going to have your days pan out the way you want to plan them every day. Just face it. And if you think that those of us who you see having a successful business are having those perfect days every single day, I've got news for you. We are not. We have the same chaotic lives as all of you, and we just learn how to become more flexible with that happening. There are days that I wake up and I want to scream at my kids, scream at my husband, go crazy, bounce off the walls, and I've got to learn how to compromise and be flexible and let life go more with the flow. Sometimes you're going to have sick kids. Sometimes your kids are going to be screaming, running around like maniacs while you're trying to work. Sometimes you're going to have your kids on a webinar that you are hosting for 1,000 people asking you for treats in the middle of the webinar. I'll admit it. I've given my daughter 4 popsicles once back to back to have her walk out of my room while I was giving a webinar since my husband wasn't home. Those things are going to happen. So you've got to be flexible. You can negotiate with your partner, with your husband, ask them to take the kids off to dinner, to take them off to activities. This stuff is going to happen. And if you can't get away with that time that's free or that's quiet on your own without your kids, you're going to have to learn how to work around them. And guess what? People are going to understand because we're all in the same boat. So be prepared to be flexible. Let life go a little bit more with the flow and be okay with it. And know that other people understand you. Patience. Number 10, building a business takes time. Like I said a few slides ago, it can take 1 to 5 years to kick off your business off of the ground. And sometimes you've invested huge sums of money into that business and it's hard because you want to return. But understand that you're going to have to be patient. It takes some time. So patience is absolutely vital. First, you need to be patient with yourself. Second, you have to be patient with your business's growth. Third, you've got to be patient with your family if this work from home thing is new to them. There are times I have to admit that I've threatened to my husband, I'm going to go get an office. But you know what? When all said and done, I actually much more enjoy working from home, being able to hang out in my sweats all day, not wash my hair for 4 days, don't put on makeup if I don't want to, eat whenever I want during the day, stop work whenever I want to, pick up my kids at school. I love working from home. But this takes, as we talked about before, a little flexibility and a little patience. Be patient with your clients and your network. Impatience is a form of fear. So give yourself a little time. Number 11, keep evolving. Your life is dynamic. Our lives are dynamic. People are constantly changing and at even faster rates than ever before. You need to be dynamic and evolving. Your business needs to be dynamic and constantly evolving. So invest in yourself and your business and let it evolve. Number 12, get some help. You totally cannot do all of this by yourself. You must get help. Work out what your hourly rate is, and then all the tasks that do not generate that amount should be given to somebody else. If you don't understand what your hourly rate is, all you have to do is figure out what you're making monthly and divide that by how many hours a week or month you're working. Or figure out what you're making annually and divide that monthly and then weekly and then daily and then hourly to figure out what your deserved or hourly rate is. Now I have people all the time asking me, when did you decide, Haley, to hire out people? Well, I held on to doing everything myself for as long as I could But when life got too chaotic and I understood that I could actually blow up my business a lot faster if I hired stuff out, that's when I made that decision. So I can't tell you when to start hiring help. That's intuitive, and it's going to happen within, and you're going to be the one to know. And I know it's hard. I know it's really hard to start paying somebody else when you don't feel like you're bringing in the revenue that you want to be bringing in yet. But the bottom line is if you don't let go of some of the things that are, I don't want to say wasting your time, but taking up a lot of your time so that you can't bring in commissionable income, you've got to get help. And what I have done through the last year and a half is I've slowly hired more and more people to help me. And believe me, I would rather not be paying so many dollars out of my salary a month. But to be honest, there's no way my business would have gone forward without me hiring some of it out. So do you need somebody as an office manager? Do you need somebody as a personal assistant? Do you need somebody to help you with your marketing? Do you need somebody to help clean your house or even cook for your family? Let them do it, because usually that type of hourly salary is less than what your hourly salary is. When you do what you do best, which is being in front of clients, your business will expand. And you don't need to be an expert in everything. So hire the experts to help you. Number 13, upskill yourself. Sure, you don't need to be an expert at everything, but you should definitely aim to become an expert in at least one thing. Make sure it's aligned with your true passion and go for it. You know, as I've started my business, I've become an expert in a lot of different things. I used to know nothing about blogging or social media or how to edit or create a landing page on my website. I've learned so much by just getting in there and making it happen. And honestly, the more I learn, the more I feel comfortable about my business. You know, I was sitting in a spin class this morning and I was watching a girl whose bike was in front of me who's been dealing with a surgery and then an infection that she's had in her knee for the last year and a half. And she has learned so much about her medical situation, about her infection, about how to heal herself, about physical therapy through the course of her year and a half. Maybe you would call it devastating sequence of events. But on another note, I'm kind of interested to find out whether she takes what she's learned over the last year and a half and then creates a business out of that passion that she now has from helping herself heal herself, and then can teach others how to do it. The more that you get invested in becoming experts in certain parts of your business, the easier your business will be for you. Number 14, set yourself some goals. Now, I talk about this all the time with my team. It is so important to write out your annual, your monthly, your weekly, and your daily goals that will keep you moving forward to your ultimate purpose. Make sure that your goals have meaning and that they're realistic. Sometimes I have people come up to me and tell me what their goals are for the month, and although I want to believe in them, they're not really realistic goals. So we have to kind of step back a minute and say, you know what? Let's work on this first. Let's work on A before we jump to B. So maybe the goal that you have set for April will actually be a goal set for May, that we should set for May. And let's step back a step and look at what we really want to do for April. But at the same token, don't make your goals too easy either. So make sure that your goals are achievable, they're realistic, but you're pushing yourself a little bit. Number 15, secret 15, share your story. Everyone has a story to tell, right? Like I just talked about with a friend of mine in my spin class. She has an unbelievable story that she can tell that she will probably be able to create a lifetime of business out of. My story was actually what launched my business. My story with my digestive health, stress, anxiety, lack of sleep, being sick all the time. You all have a story. And I know that some of you are sitting here thinking, I don't really have a story yet. You do. Your story is how you're evolving and the steps and the leaps and bounds you've had to make in order to push forward in your life. So think about what your story is and constantly think about how you can help others by sharing your story with as many people as possible. Don't be scared or feel uneasy about sharing your story. There are so many people that are out there that can relate to you and that need your area of expertise. And I really believe that one of the reasons that I have been successful in my business so far is because I've been out there and been vulnerable. I'm not perfect. I've had a lot of negative stuff that's happened to me, a lot of unpleasant stuff that's happened to me. And I've been willing to share that stuff with everybody because not only have I been able to change and move forward with it, but now I believe that I'm able to help other people as well. So whatever it is, don't be embarrassed by it. Don't care if people are going to criticize you. You can't please everyone, but know that there are going to be hundreds, if not thousands of people out there that are going to want to hear from you, that are going to connect with you, that are going to align themselves with you, and that are going to want to believe in you and will be able to believe in themselves because of your story. So for example, because I was able to share my story and follow my passion, that's what actually led me to the business that I'm in now, my doTERRA business. Essential oils became part of my own healing regime to help myself get better. I believed in them. I believed in their power, but I also believed in the company, and I wanted to teach other people about healthy, natural, non-toxic products that I was choosing in my life too. And because I believed so much in these products, and other people had put their trust in me, started to believe in them too, and had unbelievable experiences with me, it was never about selling, and my business just started to bloom. It became a part of my life, just sharing what I believed in. And because of that, I've been able to create an unbelievable team of thousands of people all over the world, literally, that I now mentor and coach and teach how to share their passions too. I was able to create support systems. And the reason that I have been successful with doTERRA was because of the awesome support that I had, not only from my friends, the people that I brought into my business, my family, but also because of my husband. And I've been able to teach other people to create powerful support systems as well in their lives and their teams so that they can also feel financially independent and free. Setting guidelines. As a work from home mom, I had to set boundaries with my kids, my husband, and my friends. So this is how I started with them. I'm taking a yoga class here. You guys saw it in the video. And my daughter won't give me 1 ounce of free space. Sometimes I feel like she's like a little leech attached to my skin. You know how you feel when you have a baby in the beginning and they're just attached to you all the time? You love it, but you also want a little bit of independence. So you've got to figure out how to change your attitude and get a little bit more disciplined, and how to have a new experience. So I've got some very exciting things to announce right now. I'm going to be putting together, I have put together, I should say, an awesome summit with 9 different momtrepreneurs from all different walks of life. I'm really excited for you guys to hear from them. They are women who are making 6 figures or multiple 6 figures in their businesses from all different business models. And we are going to be launching this 6-figure mom summit really shortly. And you'll be able to click right here on this link below and register for free and listen to all of these women's unbelievable experiences, how they raised their kids and started their practices, how they dealt with all the complications at home, with husbands who possibly didn't support them at first, or kids who were all over them, or maybe they were single moms, or maybe they actually had to commute huge distances to work. All different kinds of experiences. And it's going to be so beneficial for you guys. And I'm really excited that I was able to get such wonderful women to contribute to this summit. So remember, you guys, first of all, thank you. But remember that if you believe in yourself, be yourself, and see yourself as a successful momtrepreneur, you will be one. And as usual, if you have anything that you want to ask me, please come over to my website, HaleyHobson.com, and ask me a question. And you can follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/Haley Hobson Health Coach. Visit me on Twitter at Haley Hobson, or on my Pinterest page at Haley Hobson69. Love you guys. See you online. And I can't wait for you to take part in the summit. Thanks so much.